Good evening. Just 2 months into the season and Aston Villa are out of Premiership contention and the Coca-Cola Cup. The only place they've shone this year has been in Europe. Tonight at Villa Park, they're aiming to secure their place in Friday's UEFA Cup third-round draw at the expense of the Spanish side Athletic Bilbao and stop their season turning completely sour. Well, a battling 0-0 draw in Spain's left them in prime position to go through. Now all they've got to do is score some goals. Your commentators Joe Royal and, first of all, Jonathan Pearce.
Good evening from the rain-soaked Villa Park, where so many times this club has shot itself in the foot in recent European campaigns. 20 years since Villa went beyond round 2 in this competition. Tonight so very vital for manager Brian Little, whose side hasn't won in 5 matches. Gareth Southgate's much publicised comments about the Villa Malays haven't brought a change in the captaincy. He keeps the job. There are changes to the lineup, though, from Saturday's defeat by Chelsea. Mark Bosnich is fit after his knee injury. Ian Taylor replaces Simon Grayson, and Savo Milosevic is preferred to Julian Jurchim. Dwight York plays with stitches in his thigh and further upfield than in the first leg.
Good evening, Jonathan. Villa must put in different league form behind them to progress in the trophy, and they revert to their more familiar 3-5-2 formation than playing with the 3 forwards that they had in the first leg. They have gone to their tried and trusted partnership of last year of York and Milosevic.
Athletic Bilbao are very bullish about the tie. Their manager Luis Fernandez has been proudly pointing to an 11-match unbeaten run, 2 wins on the spin in the league and a climb to 8th. He had hoped to have World Cup midfielder Julen Guerrero fit to start after 10 weeks out with a cartilage problem. Last season's 16-goal top scorer Ismael Ercez is back in a front 3, but Javi Gonzalez, so tricky in Spain, is with Guerrero, surprisingly, only on their bench.
Villa must be aware, though, Jonathan, that Bilbao can only improve from their first performance, where the undoubted star of the first leg was the giant Rios, who dominated the Villa forwards. And if they are to progress in this tournament, he's the one that they've got to beat.
Ercez scored in the victory at the weekend over Tenerife, 3-0, and he will be a danger. The referee, Sandor Pilar from Hungary, his 2 assistants, Georgi Koch and Josef Vukovic, his compatriots. The 2 little mascots there, Kelly Ashby, who's 10, and she says, like Stan, the man, and Alex Cook, a 12-year-old lad who likes Savo Milosevic. That's his favourite player. Well, Aston Villa will certainly be hoping for goals from Milosevic today, and also Dwight York, because the 2 of them, with Julian Jurchim, have just 6 goals in 40 starts amongst them. The average crowd here this season for league matches, 35,800. Tonight's crowd some way short of that. The Aston Villa fans hoping for a better performance than the team showed against Chelsea here on Saturday, when they started well, missed a penalty, and then suffered defeat against a very professional Chelsea performance. The Aston Villa supporters in the majority of the stadium, but 3,000 fans have made their way from northern Spain. The referee will be expected to keep close control over this. He is a meticulous official. And Mark Bosnich bouncing the ball, fit, trained yesterday after the knee problem that kept him out of the Chelsea side. What sort of a game do you expect, Joe?
Well, I think it'll be a game where Villa have to take the game to them this time. In Bilbao, they had to sit a little bit and try and play on the break. And this time the shoe's on the other foot, and they have to be aware that an away goal, particularly early in the game, could be fatal. But I would take Villa to go on and win this, because of what we've seen up to now, Bilbao aren't particularly strong going forward. But we must be aware, I've said before, that they did beat Sampdoria twice, and that is good form.
In the Great War, the munitions factories of Birmingham depended on iron ore from Bilbao. Tonight, Villa needs some heavy firepower, all of their own making. It will be the Spanish Lions, as they like to be known, in the red and white stripes and black shorts to get us off and underway, kicking from right to left in the first half. Up front for them, Tiganda will be a danger once again. He is the top scorer currently playing in Spanish football with over 100 to his name. It comes down to Ian Taylor, who came on against Chelsea, having missed the starting lineup. Now Milosevic. Good sturdy run early on from him, and that's what the Villa fans will want to see, because he does look so often so lethargic. Taylor. And Southgate to Staunton.
Fernando Nelson, Jonathan, has taken the middle and midfield role to enable Draper and Taylor both to get forward and look for goals.
Well, he played wider on Saturday against Chelsea, Joe, and they did seem to lack balance in that game. Here's Staunton at the back. Looks for Milosevic. Good climb against him. The big man at the back, you will see time after time after time, is Roberto Rios. They're wearing 24. And Imanol Echeverria clears. Staunton. Draper. Good reverse ball. Out to Gary Charles. That's a dangerous header that Rios will have to cover. Rios covering the mistake at the back by Ferreira in the team tonight. He didn't play in the first leg. He's in for Carlos Garcia, who's missed the last couple. Draper to Alan Wright, who was outstanding in northern Spain. Taylor. Good close control. Defender commits himself. Rios clears. Cost £9 million in the summer. A club record. Southgate to Wright. And Staunton again. The original Stan the man here at Villa Park, according to the fans. His nickname has always been Stan. Is Ricardo Shimeka. Had a fine season as the 22-year-old from Leamington. The under-21 captain of England. No qualified to play for Italy. And there's Steve Staunton to Southgate. Alan Wright back to Southgate. Thinks about what he's saying, Gareth Southgate, and those words he said about the club would have pained him to say them over the weekend. And Taylor again. A little bit too much.
Yeah, Villa have to be patient. They have to be patient, Jonathan, but they do need a good start. They need to get around their goal very early and raise the tempo of the game. I mean, it's nice to see that they are comfortable in possession. They've got a great shape with lots of width, but they do need to get attempts on goal early on to put them under pressure.
Larrainza with the throw-in forward. There's the other, Echeverria. Joseba, who's the younger of the two brothers. And Rios has gone down, and Milosevic, the referee, has already blown. It won't count, it won't count. He pushed into Rios. I didn't hear you. Well, a word in your shell, like son, says the referee from Hungary.
I don't think he can complain too much, really. It was a clumsy challenge.
Let's have a look at it again, Joe. Up goes Milosevic with Rios, who was outstanding in the first game. Just a little nudge.
Just enough.
Good finish, though, by Milosevic, and that's what Villa fans will want to see. 0-0 at the moment in the tie. This is the only scoreline that would take us to extra time and penalty kicks. Don't forget the away goal. Counts double after 90 minutes in the UEFA Cup. Nelson gives it away. Good covering challenge again by Taylor, working hard in that midfield. Larrainza. By Echeverria. Larrainza again. Good 1-2. Loves to get down that right-hand touchline. Too much weight on the ball. Larrainza on the right-hand side and Larrazabal on the left. Really key players for Bilbao this season in their move up to the table. To 8th place, they're 11 points behind Barcelona, and they haven't lost away from home this season. Here's Alan Wright. Staunton. There's Taylor making a run further forward. Just come into your picture now, they're wide on the left. Milosevic comes short. Nelson. Couldn't find a route away wide to Alan Wright. Milosevic again. Play Savo Milosevic, holding it up well. Not a good ball at the end of it though, and Southgate has to cover across on Echeverria. How much do you think the criticism of the club and the resulting publicity has affected Gareth Southgate?
I don't think it will really. He's saying he's been slightly overstated, that he didn't quite say everything that was said, and that really, things have been taken out of context. But Brian Little has shown that he's hurt by it, and really it sort of shows their state at the moment. They have been indifferent, they have been up and down, but they have too many fine players to be in the trouble that they are at the moment for long.
Brian Little, who was in the side that played Bilbao when they last met in the competition in 77-88. Villa won on this ground 2-0. John Dixie Dean scored a goal, and then there was an own goal from the Spanish international goalkeeper Iribar, who's now a goalkeeping coach at Bilbao. Milosevic has made space down that far side. Our quarter heads down. Drinkwater had a good game in Bilbao. Milosevic is wide. They have to be patient.
At the moment, Jonathan, there's nowhere to go. Bilbao are pressing, defending high up the pitch and hoping for one back pass to set them off, as indeed they have got now. And as soon as they can, they're getting away from their own goal, making it hard for Villa.
That's the long-haired Alquiza in midfield. And in San Sebastian, fouled by Fernando Nelson from just across the border. And Nelson didn't think that Athletic Bilbao gave Villa enough respect in the media in the build-up to the first game. He translated comments in the papers to his teammates. Larrazabal is there on the edge of the penalty area. Echeverria against Ismail Artaiz. Tall, swarthy line leader, 16 goals last season, just the once this season. Played for Spain last year. He had his first cap against the Czech Republic just over a year ago. Could well be in the World Cup finals of 1998. Staunton, will he be there with the Republic? Dwight York push he did. See the plaster on Dwight York's thigh. Brian Little told me beforehand he's fit to play though. Plaster just covering up the stitches he picked up against Chelsea. Desperately needs a goal from somewhere, Brian Little. Staunton is fouled by Artaiz again.
It's a very sketchy start, really, with too many petty fouls to start with. No great pattern developing at the moment. And the sooner Villa get Dwight York into the game, they'll know that they're in business.
There's the carry back up that touchline. Looks for Gary Charles with the pass of the night so far in 7 minutes. As Draper to his left-hand side. Bends it square. Echeverria let. Milosevic offside. Has the ball in the net for the second time in the game. And that could bring him trouble with the Hungarian official. Savo Milosevic, well, he was warned once.
It's very fussy, but he has been warned, and really it's a silly booking. It's a silly booking. But again, you saw that Bilbao are squeezing the box and leaving anybody who's in there offside. Whenever the ball goes away from their box, they'll be following it out.
See whether or not he was offside. The header came in very, very close with Rios there.
Yes, he was touching though, but I think he was just.
Twice Savo Milosevic then has finished with aplomb, and twice has been pulled up for offences. The first a foul and the second offside. Scored for Yugoslavia against Hungary last week. Larrazabal will probably come forward and take this throw in. Altor Larrazabal, a regular in the side for 7 years, made over 200 appearances. Number 21 international, never made the full side.
You know, it's a silly booking for Milosevic, Jonathan, because he is a physical player now, and he's got to be that so much careful now when he's challenging people, but he doesn't get another booking.
Bounced awkwardly off him there into the hands of Manuel Echeverria. Savo Milosevic for Aston Villa, 24 goals in his 96 games since that much vaunted £3.5 million move from Partizan Belgrade. That's Šimečkas and Fernando Nelson. Staunton, such an exquisite pass with the ball. Draper to Nelson again. Milosevic, well played Villa. Slightly overpassing it again, perhaps. Alcorta was in fiercely. Now Saganda, they call him Cuckoo. Back in Spain, finds Artaiz. Villa can't afford to give away an away goal. Alquiza as Urrutia's chip out to Echeverria. Right is across there. Echeverria, good run, challenge. Nothing given. It was about that same spot here on Saturday, almost the same spot on the pitch where Villa got their penalty against Chelsea but missed it. That's a good ball, Southgate. York is away and onside. Milosevic in the mid, Taylor there as well. Good run by Dwight York. Rios comes across. And that's what Villa need. Some direct running from Dwight York and Savo Milosevic up front.
They have to be aware of Echeverria, Jonathan. He spent a lot of time on the floor in the first leg, and there's no doubt if you're anywhere near him in the box, he'll go to ground.
Alcorta, the M on the back of his shirt, that's for his mother. M for mother. I think Villa would have been very lucky to get anything out of a shout that they clearly thought they might have had for a penalty, but look fair to me. Keeper's come, and he's left out hanging with a washing. Still loose, he comes again. That's a better punch. Alquiza on. Staunton. Draper was out there. Now Echeverria. Urrutia. hard man in midfield. So he's one of the manager Luis Fernandes' favourite players in the side. Larrazabal, high. Is there, so to Echeverria around the back. Charles away. 10 play. Villa's nerves at home in Europe, well chronicled over the last few years. Helsingborg's goal here in the 1-1 last season. That undid Villa. Trabzonspor's away goal here in 94-95 enough. Larrazabal looks for Orthaith. And away.
Rather late offside flag there, Jonathan.
It was Echeverria in the middle who'd gone in there and had crept through offside.
They played that diagonal ball in and around right again, and they must think that's a big plus for them.
Yeah, you can see there he was offside. You've got to give credit to Luis Fernandes, Joe. He's coming with 3 forwards.
Yes, I think that's a psychological ploy as well, to say to Villa, you know, we think we can get a goal here.
Milosevic goes down, no contact again. But certainly, big Savo Milosevic is seeing a lot of action in this opening 15 minutes. Came on against Chelsea at the weekend. Didn't really have much of a chance to get into the game. Will he be leaving at the end of the season? For Spanish football himself, if you read the newspaper reports, he could be off. That's Orthaith. Southgate behind him. Big Orthaith again. Well-travelled striker. Real Madrid, one of his clubs. Staunton. And the Ricardo Schimeka. Charles back to him. Looks for Dwight York. Herrera was across. And again, Paxi Pereira, very experienced defender. Second spell at the club. Alcorta to Laranja. Orthaith again is the target, and he's done well. Thiganda's cross, Echeverria. Orthaith. And good defending, tight up behind him by Gareth Southgate. Rios, Alquiza, and Draper wins an important ball, and Rios shanks it.
Again, a warning though, Jonathan. They are playing this diagonal ball behind the far centre-back, and then looking for anything off her side, and he's obviously quite formidable in the air.
Orthaith, 6'3", and it's a team of giants. Here's Southgate. Looks for Charles. Recovering back on this near side by Thiganda. Here he is, Cuckoo. 100 goals, the 51st player in Spanish history to reach that target. Alquiza, that's for Echeverria with the angled ball. And Mark Bosnich. Trained fully yesterday, Brian Little told me, despite that knee injury which kept him out of the Chelsea game. Little Alan Wright. York, dwarfed by Rios.
Somewhat of a mismatch there.
That's not going to profit them much, Joe. Pumping it up there to York against Rios. I'll come to you in on that in a minute. Here's Orthaith. Alquiza. Thiganda was to the left, and Draper to Dwight York.
Yes, I mean, quite seriously, they have to play in and around, but they've also got to get behind them at some stage.
Well, Echeverria, that's what you were saying. He's gone down again, look, from Fernando Nelson's challenge. He was stretching, but he's gone down, and that's a dangerous free kick given away.
Yes, who knows with him? I mean, he does go down so readily.
16 league goals, well...
I don't think we can deny him that one.
No.
Sooner or later.
He's got one there, and this is danger for Aston Villa. There's Alquiza and Laranja. Larrazabal may have a dip against Mark Bosnich has got. There's Larrazabal, is to the top right of your picture. Laranja is just behind him. Both of them set-piece experts. Laranja takes the penalties. And Alquiza is to the left. In comes the drive, and away through, deflected, Larrazabal's drive away. And a corner kick, the first of the game to Bilbao.
I think Bilbao will be well pleased with their start, Jonathan. I mean, Villa looking a little bit uncertain, a little bit unsure with the passing, and Bilbao really putting one or two good moves together and looking dangerous.
And that's a danger here. Roberto Rios at 6'3". Taylor's with him. Ooh, and it squeezed goes through, and Fife got the touch and away through the box. It's where they're going to be so dangerous. They murdered Tenerife in the air at the weekend. They beat Sporting Gijón the week before 2-1, and they are going to be dangerous in the air.
Yes, they look a formidable side. They already look better to me than they did in the first leg, to be honest with you.
Their one defeat this season has come at home against Espanyol on the opening day of the season, and that denied them the services of Julen Guerrero, who picked up a knee injury in that match and has been out for 61 days since. Southgate. Milosevic to be caught by Alcorta. Oh, Rios challenge, definitely caught Dwight York. Roberto Rios, yellow card. He's had 4 in the league this season. He now has 1 in the UEFA Cup.
He can't be surprised, really. There's no need there. York's on the touchline and not particularly looking that dangerous. And if you take somebody out from behind, well...
Manchester United were interested in him, Barcelona and Real Madrid, according to the speculation. Roberto Rios. Big, tall Spanish international. Dad played for Spain as well back in the 60s. Southgate's in there. Shimeka and Taylor wearing 7. Right dummies. Staunton. Severia. Keitha will clear. Arthaiz. Good work. Battling hard back at him. It was Shimeka's challenge and offside against Dwight York.
An unusually poor delivery from Stan Staunton, really. Usually a dead ball specialist, and they have to be aware that as the ball broke, Bilbao are coming out in force. They will obviously play on the break.
York about 1.5 yards offside. Look at the top of your picture, same strip of dark green turf. Well, maybe there was an argument that Alcorta was playing him on. Bosnich, so desperate to be part of the World Cup next summer with Terry Venables Australia. Not a good kick out though, from the likeable 25-year-old from Sydney.
He's a fine goalkeeper, Jonathan, but he's not always a fine kicker. His kicking can be indifferent at times.
The Rathball's throw to Arthaiz. Staunton. 70 caps for Ireland. York. Alan Wright. The England squad. Not too long ago. Draper. So did he. He made his debut as well. Nelson of Portugal and Aston Villa. Milosevic. Good footwork between the two. Oh, it's just too far for Nelson. Taylor has Charles. Charles in the middle was York, and Rios again, predatory-like in the air, plucks anything down and gets it away.
Villa's best moment to date, a chance to put a good crossing behind them. Not the cross that Gary Charles will have wanted, but nevertheless, a lot to support them going forward.
Alan Wright. Yeah, it's a 5-man defence, Villa. Need the width, they need to commit defenders. Here's Staunton, Charles. Rathball is in front of him. Echeverria, and unchallenged, the 6'1" goalkeeper who came through from the Bilbao youth team was always going to win that one.
I think had Milosevic not had a yellow card, that he might have had a challenge there.
Villa's home record in Europe, played 24, 6 wins, 7 defeats. But, 15 wins and 5 defeats, I should say, away from home, 6 wins and 7 defeats. Don't lose many on this ground, but costly away goals conceded here have cost them so dearly. York onside this time, no one in the middle for him. He'll have to wait. Taylor's there now, and Draper. Rios comes to meet him. York holds it up. Right. Milosevic attacks the first ball. Keitha clears. Echeverria still. Any contact with him will send him plunging. Fernando Nelson, not too happy. Gets his body across the body of the Villa defender, though.
I don't think we can dispute it's a foul, but it's certainly not life-threatening, as he would have us believe.
We'll see about Echeverria. Started off with Real Sociedad. Dad got him a wage rise and a move to Bilbao. But Faith with Shemek on the edge of the box. Here's Echeverria. That's why he's being booed, because he does go to ground. Faith. Larrazabal, Alquita. Up a chance here for Plicanda. Good defending, Steve Staunton. Oh, corner kick given.
It was excellent defending. He's very unfortunate there. But again, the signs of the danger from this Bilbao side away from home that we never saw in the first leg.
Well, he may just have been offside, actually, when it first came through to him. That is a clear goal kick. That is a clear goal kick, but the referee disagrees. He's the man in charge after all. Just over 20 minutes play. Poor corner kick. He's realised he's made a mistake, Joe. The referee, hasn't he? He's given a free kick back Villa's way.
I think he's just rectified the situation.
How many times does that happen?
Not often enough.
Sandor Puila from Hungary. Gareth Southgate then for Aston Villa at 0-0 on the night and on aggregate. And if they'll rue that chance missed late on by Dwight York in the Catedral San Mamés Stadium. Larrazabal. It's Alquita forward. And Staunton. York making a lovely run across the line of the back four, but just bent in slightly prematurely.
He came a stride too late, and again you see Bilbao holding a high line, keeping well up the pitch and letting people run offside. They only need to crack it once there.
Faith. He's the man they'll hit to. Charles in. Another chase, Milosevic and Rios, and the keeper. What on earth is he doing? Kamikaze, Echeverria, but it worked. If it didn't, the manager would have been none too pleased with him and all Echeverria. And though he's coached by a former Spanish international, I don't think that's one out of the goalkeeping coaching book.
He got away with it. And I feel it's justified, Jonathan.
Urrutia and Nelson. It's going to be a very key clash in there. Very important. Here's Taylor. Alan Wright. Echeverria has done well. Now can they get Larrazabal forward to Faith? Rios. He's won everything in the air that Villa have thrown up to him in the two games so far. Big Roberto Rios at the back. Faith at the other end. He's proving something of a handful in the air as well. Is there a push there on Dwight York? There's a foul there by Alan Wright.
Brian Little will be looking for them to raise the tempo of the game. They need some excitement. They need to get the crowd behind them at the moment, Jonathan. It's all too pat and too easy for Bilbao at the moment.
Larraza with a free kick. It's a long time since that run to the quarterfinals of the UEFA Cup. Brian Little actually scored in the quarterfinal in Barcelona when Villa went down 2-1. It had been 2-2 here. Great tie that was. And of course they had the Champions Cup success in '82. Aston Villa. They've been regular competitors in Europe, carrying the flag for England 4 times in the 90s before this season. Draper blocked. Larraza was the man with him. Not been able to get in the game, Joe, as he did in the first leg in Bilbao, Mark Draper.
No, they're all struggling at the moment. There's no space at all in midfield, and the front two are being held high up the pitch. There's nowhere to go. What they actually need is a couple of balls in behind Bilbao so that they can get them facing their own goal and cause danger.
Faith leaping. Charles to clear. Been 10 years since Athletic Bilbao won anything. Desperate for success this season. It's their centenary in 1998. Ian Taylor. Charles arriving a little bit late, the ball, too much carry on it. Strong challenge on Charles. Challenge came flying in from Patsy Pereira. Shimeka. Perhaps Staunton away, just see the bottom of his legs there, on the left. Right outside him. There's Draper. Porter makes it his. Urthaith. Southgate not committing himself, but dogging him all the way over there.
Urthaith has made a big difference to Bilbao. They now have a target to play off and they look much more formidable.
Say it's the birthplace of Spanish football, with British miners and foundry workers taking the game to Bilbao in the 1890s. They play in the kit supplied to them. In those days, the most famous English club around about that time, they thought Sunderland, who played in red and white and black shorts. Helped that the foundry workers were from Sunderland. And the kit has stayed the same ever since. Milosevic offside. That time I don't think there was a big question. The 23-year-old from Bajulina in Yugoslavia.
Villa badly need to get their wing-backs further forward, Jonathan. They need to get that width to get round the back of them. There's no way down the middle with the giant rails for the moment. And now the York, no Milosevic, has outstanding pace, burning pace, so they've got to do it with width.
The empty seats that we spotted up before the game have all been filled, and there's very, very few empty seats around the stadium. We're up around about the 39,000 mark, I'd say again. That's good work by Milosevic. York in the middle and Taylor. Oh, the keeper's dropped it! Ian Taylor! 1-0 to Aston Villa! A dreadful mistake by the goalkeeper Imanol Echeverria, and it was buried by Ian Taylor. 1-0 to Aston Villa, and Villa Park comes alight.
Well, it's the first time they've got behind him in a wide position, and again, good skill by Milosevic. He's got a cross in, which isn't a great cross, but the goalkeeper's decided to help us, which is great. And Ian Taylor's following up. Fair play to him. That makes it a different game now that Bilbao have to do a little bit more now and come and chase the game.
The last time I saw handling like that, it was in the shower this morning, and it was the soap that went squirt out of my hands and hit the bottom of the shower tray. And Echeverria is a professional goalkeeper, and he didn't handle that well. Now go on, Dwight York. Brought down clumsily. That is exactly what they need. A little bit of slice of luck. Doesn't matter how they go in.
It's virtually Villa's first moment of danger. A great cross from Milosevic.
Oh, he should have done it. Should have gobbled that up, shouldn't he?
Well, York's around him, and it just makes him a little bit unnerved. Shows you the value of getting in the box and getting across the goalkeeper. Anything can happen.
Ian Taylor scoring for Aston Villa for the third time this season. Now will this be a high-quality balling from Staunton? No, disappointing again. Alcorta away. Rafael Alcorta, local boy. Under 7 internationals in this Bilbao squad. Ian Taylor, signed from Sheffield Wednesday in December of 1994, back to the club of his boyhood dreams. Shimeka and Charles. York, and suddenly the Villa fans have found their voice. Alcorta though, for Athletic Bilbao. They've even kept the athletic part of their English-sounding name, not Atletico. That's Echeverria, younger brother of the goalkeeper, whose clanger has given Villa the lead. Oh, he's nutmegged Steve Staunton, he's done brilliantly. Can he pull it back to Urthaith? Good cover again, Echeverria in there. Alan Wright dogs him. Echeverria turns, Nelson gets it away. Now Alcorta. Looks left. I think he was actually trying to find Larrazabal, who's there to the left of your picture.
That's the other side of Echeverria. He can play, when he's not diving to the floor all the time, he can be a danger.
They rate him very highly, very promising. Under 21 international, came on at the weekend as a substitute, and Luis Fernandez firming his players around to keep them fresh for this one. Shimeka was in the Villa side that lost to Chelsea here.
It is important now that they keep things tight until half-time. Another goal would be fine, but certainly 1-0 would be excellent at half-time. No mistakes at set plays.
Rathabal, that's heading nowhere. 31 minutes played, and Aston Villa lead by 1-0. And they don't get many. That's what, 2 goals in nigh on 5.5 games now for Aston Villa. Rios is underneath that one. Balletic lead. Rathabal, Draper slips. Staunton sure-footed, and so too Southgate.
The goal did show the value of Stan Staunton to Villa, though, Jonathan. It was a prodigious ball from his own half that put Milosevic in.
And Milosevic has done well there, fighting back, finding Taylor and York. Taylor again, but it was Milosevic graft that won it for Villa. Alcorta away. Southgate, who possibly feels he has something to prove to Villa fans tonight. Ricardo Shimeka. Steve Staunton. Taylor. Let me once again reiterate that Gareth Southgate feels 1 or 2 of those comments weren't taken exactly as he said them. I've known him since he in fact played in a charity penalty shootout team during an FA Cup semi-final, Liverpool against the Palace here many years ago for a radio station in London. As a kid at Crystal Palace he was then.
It's very out of character, but it was true.
It's a good ball to Echeverria. Staunton just got back. Taylor the goal scorer away. York. Yes, he doesn't say things, Gareth Southgate, without thinking first. Steve Staunton.
The game has picked up a pace since the goal. Bilbao have to be a bit more positive now. And certainly Villa might find a little bit more space as they do so.
Rios. Arranca looks for Thiganda. Shimeka dropped in there with him.
He's a very similar player to Gareth Southgate. He's very alert, he does sensible things, he's tidy enough with the ball.
Rios arrives on the edge of the penalty area. Arranca's long throw. Milosevic, Alcorta all over him. Declan Rice. Hasn't he done well? Big salvo. One of his best performances so far this season to date. Charles to Draper. Defender Ferreira's committed himself. York will try and pull it down. Ooh, Alcorta away, but only just. Echeverria. He's the pick of the Athletic Bilbao players so far. He may drop to the ground fairly easily, but he's their pick so far, is Echeverria.
Yes, he's playing a very cagey game too. As Alan Wright's following in on the far side, he's leaving himself in space. He's not at all bothered about defending, and he's always available on the break.
Echeverria up front is playing well, but Echeverria at the back has dropped the clanger. Of course, there is that well-known Spanish song, "There's only 2 Echeverrias." 5 yards in from the far side. There's the younger of them. Now Villa, almost into the last 10 minutes of the first half, need to hold firm. Good header away. Alquita on. He's working tremendously hard, the Joseba Echeverria there on Alan Wright, but Kosnic was in place. There's only 1 goal this season. Urrutia on. Snapping into the challenge. Nelson. Ooh, flag was raised. York and maybe Milosevic on the far side, caught by Georgi Kok from Hungary. chanting is from the Bilbao fans. They've been here since mid-afternoon in the pouring rain in the car park outside, singing their hearts out. Rathabal's header in. Urrutia, Alquiza, well won Draper. Rios just stretched. Now Rafael Alcorta. Just £1 million in the summer. And they spent heartily in the summer, did Bilbao. Spent £11 million, their manager, Luis Fernandez, an outspoken man in the game. Let's have a look at that. Aston Villa goal once again. Whoops. And hang on a minute, where's it gone?
Now he obviously takes his eye off the ball with York's presence. And he won't get many easier goals than that.
Ian Taylor scoring for the 12th time in 112 games for Aston Villa. Right, that's for Milosevic. They're hugging that line, aren't they? They're going to get one in a minute.
Yes, they're squeezing up. They've obviously decided there's no real pace up front to contend with, and they're quite happy for balls to run through to their keeper. But it's been touch and go once or twice, and as we said before, Jonathan, they only need one mistake. The second goal now is vital.
Draper. York. It's Ferreira. And Alquiza. That's offside against Thiganda. Jose Thiganda started a decade ago now with Osasuna. 109 goals he has in his 349 league games in Spain.
You don't like to tempt fate, but up to now Thiganda hasn't really looked a threat that his goal record would indicate, Jonathan. Let's hope it stays that way.
With 17 goals in all competition last season. Here's Taylor. Ian Taylor, very popular with the fans up here, local lad, and did well. Right. Nelson just tidying up in there. Staunton, again York, and the misplaced defensive header. The referee might just have pulled them back there. I wonder whether he was playing the advantage.
But again, the danger's caused by a searching ball from Staunton down the line, and they have to get into those corner areas. That's where they'll cause trouble. They
played Simon Grayson against Chelsea and Fernando Nelson a little bit wider. Today he's been given that more defensive holding role in midfield. He's doing well. Staunton met then to Mark Bosnich. Brian Little making that slight tactical change. Alan Evans there to his left-hand side. There was a magnificent, strong tackling centre-back when they won the Championship and the European Cup. Formidable partnership with Ken McNaught.
Very strong player, Alan. Didn't always need the ball to play. I could tell you to my cost. He's the only player I ever got sent off against.
Six minutes to go before the break. Villa lead 1-0. Eighth time they played Spanish opposition. They only have the one victory against club sides from Spain. Came in the UEFA Cup in 1978, and it came against Athletic Bilbao, that 2-0 victory. They drew 1-1 then away from home. Dennis Mortimer got the Villa goal. What a fine captain of the side he was. Shimeka, who's been flawless so far. Ooh, now that's marginal. That is right below us. Milosevic and York again pulled up, but very, very close.
If he was offside, it must have been by half a strike. Maybe Dwight York is, but I don't think Milosevic is.
Yeah, Dwight York by perhaps 6 blades of grass. Taylor, Staunton away. That's Alcorta's leap. And Alquiza with the long hair. Ferreira. Maxi Ferreira, the 30-year-old. That's a good run by him. Committing defenders. Thiganda, Orthai. Staunton, eyes glued to the ball. He's having an outstanding game. That's Alquiza with Draper. Got had a very good game in Bilbao, Vitor Alquizar. Dad used to be president of Real Sociedad, and signed Dalian Atkinson and Kevin Richardson from the Villa. Here's Milosevic. He's led the line well. He's working hard. And he finds Taylor. Taylor still, he accepted the corner kick. I don't think he knew quickly enough that the defender had slipped.
One or two probing little balls now behind them around the box, and Villa looking more and more dangerous as the half goes on. I think Brian Little's tactics have been excellent up to now. They've kept the ball, they've stepped it up when they've had to, and now all of a sudden they find themselves with a prize goal lead and hopefully more to come.
York is in the 6-yard area, again testing the keeper, flaps it once more.
Well, fair play to the keeper, he was brave enough to come. It would have been easy to stay on his line after his previous experience.
He's only a youngster for a keeper, he's only 24 years of age. Keeping the more experienced Juan Jose Valencia out of the side. Charles with this throw in. Not sure he has enough purchase on the ball. There's Shimeka. Southgate. Villa working the pitch, all areas to keep possession. York may well have just been leaning back into the defender as he fell. No free kick given. He's not having a good night, is he? Not really. The young goalkeeper took over from Valencia in February and has kept his place ever since. Conceded 10 goals this season in his 13 games. Let me remind you, they've not been beaten away from home. Not been beaten anywhere since the opening day of the season. Bilbao in Spain, Espanyol back in August. It's a whistle in the crowd, not from the referee from Hungary. You may have just have heard it. Couple of minutes to go. Here's Milosevic with Rios. Alquizar back. What have you made of the whole first half then, Joe?
Well, it's got better for Villa as the game's gone on. They started very quietly, but as I say, I'm sure that Brian said to them, you know, keep possession, don't do anything silly, play our way into the game. And a dream start, really. The one goal, obviously a goalkeeping mistake, but it's all that Villa can ask for at the moment. With Steve Staunton having an outstanding game, starting things from the back.
Oh, Nelson was just tumbled by Alquizar, who left the foot in. And good refereeing again. I don't think there was anything malicious in that, it was just badly timed. Staunton looks for Milosevic, put his foot in there, crunch of bone on bone. Alquizar. He's done well. Southgate and Shimeka and Staunton have done very well on Urthaith. He just raises his boot in challenge.
Foreign officials will just not wear that at all. There was a similar incident recently when Draper put his foot up, and as soon as you do that with foreign officials, it's a foul.
Athletic Bilbao, 8 times champions of Spain, but not since '84. 23 times cup winners in Spain, not since that double of '84. And Luis Fernandez, born in Cadiz, but a French international with 60 caps, has a lot to live up to. Great managers they've had in the past. Javier Clemente was there. He was the man who was responsible for the double and went on to manage Spain. And a good first half for Aston Villa. Maybe a wee bit fortunate with the goal because of this man. But Urthaith and Southgate who timed it better. Nice spin, Alquizar. That's Bosnic's. York with Ferreira, dragged him back. Again, if you can hear a whistle on your TV, that's coming from the Athletic Bilbao fans. It's not the referee's whistle. Whistles and horns and bells and Rios. Maxi Ferreira. Taylor. Urrutia seemed to almost pull out of that. There he is again, though. Joseba Echeverria. Good tackle. Mark Draper. Half-time whistle blows. Aston Villa leading by a goal to nil. And Ian Taylor was the man to get it. It was slightly fortuitous, it's true. It came on 28 minutes. Milosevic, good work by him, a good cross. But they were a wee bit lucky, Chuck.
Well, they're lucky with the goal, and certainly now the goalkeeper has had a save to make apart from this. But we'll take it. There's many a time we moan about English bad luck in Europe, and we do a bit, so great to be one in front.
Aston Villa go in with the smiles on their faces. At Villa Park, they lead the tie on the night and on aggregate by a goal to nil. The first team out, Athletic Bilbao in the red and white striped shirts, and no changes for them for the second half. Aston Villa in the claret and blue with the white shorts, similarly no changes. So it's Charles, Southgate, Staunton, Shimeka and Wright the back five, Taylor, Draper, Nelson, Milosevic and York up front, with Mark Bosnich in goal, who's been out throughout the half-time interval, keeping fresh and warm. Athletic Bilbao will line up with Emmanuel Echeverria in goal, Ferreira, Rios, Alcorta, the centre-back three, Larrañaga and Larrazabal, the wing-backs, Urrutia and Alquiza in the heart of the midfield, with Joseba Echeverria, Orthaith and Thiganda up front. They've been magnificently behaved, the supporters, and in fact it's been the highlight of the tie for me. The fans have been very, very friendly. Luis Fernandez, the Bilbao manager, though, knows that his side needs to show more bite in this second half if they are to go through to the next stage of the UEFA Cup competition. It'll be Villa to get us off and underway, kicking from right to left in this second half, kicking towards the famous Holt end stand.
I agree with you, Jonathan. In the game and a half we've seen up to now, Bilbao has shown us very little, really, to merit the reputation that they have and the record that they have. They must do more, and that is the big worry. But the more they come forward, the more room there'll be for Villa.
There's Dwight York playing with stitches in his thigh wound. Echeverria, Joseba Echeverria heads on. Staunton. York offside. Two assistant referees, Georgi Koch from Hungary and Josef Putkovic. Sandor Pilar, the referee. And Dwight York and Savo Milosevic once or twice have been caught by the offside decisions. Although, as we saw at half-time, questionable. But it's almost certain that the goal, one of the two disallowed efforts by Milosevic, ruled out for handball. Urrutia outleapt by Taylor. Milosevic. Alcorta away. And Staunton, who's been magnificent, gets it out for Villa. Here's Nelson. He's busied himself well in midfield. Urrutia's challenge in his 10th season at the club. Josu Urrutia. And Staunton. Looks for York. Roberto Rios, too high, too tall. Urrutia. Here's Orthaith. Mark Draper. Orthaith again, the target man. Urrutia. Captain in the absence of Julen Guerrero. Staunton under pressure. Draper likewise, and Taylor has more room. But didn't realise it. York. Nice touch. Milosevic has possibly had his best night of the season so far. To York. Lovely turn, Dwight York. Chance for Villa. Did so well, Dwight York. Lovely move by Aston Villa, and possibly deserved the second goal on the night.
Yeah, certainly York's best moment in the game so far, and he has been a little bit quiet, really, obviously feeling the stitches that he has in his thigh, but that was vintage Dwight York. He rolled the player exceptionally well, and then right from the low shot across the box, although you have to say the keeper had it covered.
On a night of very few attempts on goal so far, it must be said. Only Villa's second of any note. Taylor. Southgate. York onside this time. Rios comes back at it. Up the chest trap. Good defending by Rios. Corner kick. Good defending by the big Spanish central back. Roberto Rios, who will be in the World Cup finals next summer, I'm sure, has 8 caps for Spain.
You see there, he has exceptional pace when he opens his legs. And although Dwight York's not quite at his best and obviously feeling it, the big pacey Spaniard is certainly formidable.
Villa's third corner of the night. Staunton will whip it in. Shemeka and Taylor and Southgate in there. Ferrero away. Fernando Nelson. Milosevic. Nelson arriving outside it. Milosevic deflected. A few cries from below our commentary position of handball, but would have been very, very cruel.
I think that's the best header that Gary Charles has never met.
York again has timed that one well. They must have worked on that at half-time. Just running along the line of the back four and then curving in. Ian Wright does it magnificently for Arsenal. And they're timing them better at the start of the second half. Here's York again, onside once more. Can he keep it in? Charles, Draper, Alkeitha is there. And Charles, and Villa need a second goal. Not a good defensive clearance. We'll get a second chance at it. Maybe jumped into his man as well, York. Taylor. Eventually slammed downfield. Staunton has been exceptional. Big crowd favourite is Steve Staunton. Oh, that's a mistake by Alcorta. Right, Taylor, York on the edge of the penalty area. Here's Dwight York. Dwight York, Draper outside him. York goes for goal! Aston Villa have the 2-goal cushion. And then at Bilbao have been yorked out of the UEFA Cup. 2-0 to the Villa. And they have it all Dwight on the night. 2-0. And at long last, they've got the goals that matter.
Fantastic strike and probably Villa's best moment of the game, their passing movement. And Dwight York sees Draper arriving outside and uses him and rifles a terrific shot. You can't blame the keeper for that one.
Magnificent goal by Dwight York. And he's timed everything he's done, Joe, at the start of the second half to perfection.
He's come alive, really. He was quite quiet first half in the just sort of general quietness of the game, but he certainly started with a bang this half. Looking at his top form now.
He had Draper available, he didn't need him. No chance that time for Imanol Echeverria. Rios of Spain and Athletic Bilbao. Oh, mistake by Shemeka. Urtaiz. That was dangerous.
Very dangerous turn straight after you've scored. The concentration level, you must get to the ball, and Brownlit will be pulling his hair out. How can this happen to us? That's Bilbao's first shot of the game, and so dangerous.
Hang on, there was a man at least a yard and a half offside on the penalty spot. Maybe he wasn't interfering.
I think had it gone in, Jonathan, it would have been a goal.
Brian Little delighted down there. The kit man was at the top of your page there, at the top of the picture there, Jim Paul. Away by Wright.
Well, there's one for the scrap group. It's not often Stan Staunton screws the ball.
Nico Lasser on for Ferreira. Francisco Ferreira goes by the name of Patsy. And Lasser comes on. He played in the first game on the left-hand side. Left for Real Madrid in 1991. Came back to Bilbao.
Very important 10 minutes now for Villa. They must keep things tight, they must be sensible. No mistakes at all.
This is Thiganda, Alkeitha. Good header by Faith! And that is why Mark Bosnich stayed on throughout the half-time interval to keep himself lithe and supple.
And it makes you think, why Bilbao all of a sudden have had 2 attempts on goal in 30 seconds because they've gone a goal behind or a second goal behind.
Good goalkeeping, Joe.
Yes, he had it comfortable, but you'll be glad to see that because he's had nothing to do. He's had very little to do in the 2 games.
That's his first save of the night, Mark Bosnich, as he looks to keep his 6th clean sheet of the season in 14 games. Another substitution, meanwhile, occurring for Bilbao, and on comes Julen Guerrero, and he is their inspiration. 30 times capped for his country. Guerrero, who came on as a substitute against Tenerife, has come on for the disappointing Thiganda.
Thiganda has hardly had a kick in both games, and certainly for the record that he has as a goal scorer, it's hard to believe.
Bosnich under pressure on the near post, clawed it out, and he really was under pressure there. Bodies flying at him.
That was a terrific corner.
Guerrero's impact immediate.
All of a sudden, Bilbao are in danger.
Linesman's flag for offside against Echeverria. But Julen Guerrero is a terrific player. 65 league goals in 171 games. He had a cartilage operation after the first game of the season. Then he played 25 minutes at the weekend. Guerrero's corner. And look at the pressure at the near post. Just clawed it out.
That was a great save. Landing on his toes like that, Jonathan, that was a great save, considering he had so little to do. Bosnich has made what we hope is a match-winning save.
Super save by Mark Bosnich. 2-0 to Aston Villa. Taylor on 28, York on 50. Milosevic, pushed by Rios. Big Savo Milosevic has his critics, but his performance today has been hard-working and honest. And until the last 4 or 5 minutes, Bilbao have been largely disappointing over the 2 nights. Staunton, Charles, in the middle is York. Alcorta away. Alkeitha to Guerrero. Good ball. Here's Alcorta. There's Larraintha there. Staunton read it immaculately. Milosevic to Nelson. He thought Staunton had continued his run. That's why he ballooned it out there.
Well, Staunton originally intended continuing his run, but then realised we're 2-0 up, let's not do anything silly, let's not get caught on the break, and very wisely slotted back into his defensive position.
Southgate, jump, chance for Echeverria. Good idea, drawing it back across the face of goal, but wide.
The Bilbao coach will be pulling his hair out. Bilbao showed more in the last 5 minutes since Villa scored their second goal than they've showed in the previous game and this game to date. They have ability, they can be dangerous.
There he is, Luis Fernandez. 84 European Championship with France, 86 World Cup quarter-finals, 92 European Championship finals. Part of that great French side in 84. Larraintha to Guerrero, picks out Echeverria. Southgate there with him, slips. Echeverria, good cross, good header. Bosnich well placed again from Urfaith, and all of a sudden they've come alive. Athletic Bilbao.
Game on. They have to see this through now, Villa. They have to make sure that they don't put themselves under pressure with that away goal. It's so important they keep things tight.
Don't forget, cannot go to extra time. 0-0 from the first leg. Villa leading by 2 goals to 0. Should Bilbao come back and score 2 by the 90-minute mark, they would go through on the away goals. Rios, pressurised by York. No one in the middle. Milosevic arriving on the edge of the penalty area. So to Draper. Alkeitha blocks. Urfaith. Fernando Nelson nips in. Villa pick up the tempo again. Good run by Nelson. Nelson, still Fernando Nelson, Ian Taylor, poor first touch. And Larrazabal will get it away. Larrazabal's gone as one of the three centre-backs now, with Lasson as a substitute.
I don't think he was there, Jonathan. I think he timed it well. The replay might show differently, but I think Big Sabo was just onside there. And certainly Villa needed that little burst of pressure just to show that they were still in the game as an attacking force. Now he's onside.
It would have been Dwight York in the middle who was off, but then if he was offside, how come the Bilbao player wasn't offside moments ago when he was 3 yards away from the ball in the Villa penalty area? Here is Mark Bosnich. And again we have a flag raised. It's frustrating the Villa fans now.
I think the linesman will be embarrassed if he sees that game. I'm sure that when the ball was kicked, the Big Sabo was just onside. It's certainly a very late flag, and I think that's what frustrates the supporters more than anything.
The assistant referees these days have to wait a little bit longer. I'll tell you why in a minute. In comes across Urquhart, away by Southgate. Drops to Urrutia. Alquita. Headed down by Guerrero. And Staunton, oh, nice little deflection. And it caught Echeverria, a nasty one. That's sporting by Steve Staunton.
Yeah. Amazing he hasn't lain down, though.
The assistant referees, when they're flagged for offside, a player is no longer simply offside by being in an offside position. He has to be trying to gain an advantage by being so. And of course, these men now have the decision to make, the assistant referees. Staunton, was he fouled by Echeverria? He was. A couple of marginal decisions tonight, Joe, but I think the officials have done very well.
I think overall the officials have been excellent, and when we saw it again at half-time, the handball from Milosevic, we can understand again that the booking, which seemed a little bit harsh.
So Staunton, perhaps the outstanding defender of the night, clears off Alcorta. That's Larrazabal. Still the noise from the Bilbao fans. They've been magnificent over the 2 nights. Larrazabal got the benefit of the bounce. Just wonder how fit Guerrero, there chasing for the ball, will be. And out for 61 days after the cartilage operation. Malassa, the man fouled. Ian Taylor coming across to cut down the angle on Alcorta. Staunton, the Bilbao fans want something, but Staunton's defending was so well judged again, Joe. They're frustrated, you can understand it, nothing's going right for them at the moment, but look at this again.
No, he's just got his body in. Well, I don't know, you've always got to be suspicious when Echeverria is involved, but 6 of one and half a dozen of the other, maybe.
There, you see Echeverria's grabbed hold of Steve Staunton, who then pushes him away, so, as Joe was saying, 6 of 1. Urrutia, now the chase for Echeverria. He's been their liveliest player on the night. Larraintha, Staunton, Shimeka and Southgate have been magnificent for Villa. Rios pressurised by York. Hasn't looked a steady here tonight, Rios. Offside, Urquhart.
I still think there'll be a lot of English Premier League clubs who would take him given the choice. He's looked a terrific player to me over the 2 ties, Jonathan. The transformation in Bilbao has been incredible since the second goal. And as I said previously, you must really wonder what they're like when they can play right from the start.
Under half an hour to go. Aston Villa with a 2-goal buffer, given them by this man, York. Draper has Charles out wide. Now Milosevic making the run and spotted, and there's Rios again. Well,
yeah, it's just a little tug, I think.
Aston Villa, some great European nights here in the past. That 2-2 draw against Barcelona back in 77-78 was magnificent. the victory over Inter at home in 1990-91. Another great night. Rios will leap with York. Came off his back. Larrazabal away. Lassa on. Maybe just a suspicion of a push in there. Rios though. Big Roberto Rios.
I just see Mark Draper there gesticulating with his own defender, saying, let's get hold of the ball again, let's start passing the ball. You know, we're playing too many long balls and giving them too many free headers at the back. Let's start passing the ball and play as we can.
Guerrero was caught by Taylor's studs as he stretched into it. Ian Taylor caught him. Guerrero's okay. Taylor acknowledges the foul. He just caught him lightly on the left shin. Larrainza's free kick. Offside, Rios. Offside, Rios, referee.
Rios moved very early. He ducked in behind the back four of the Villa defence and was clearly offside.
There he is. And the Villa line, look at that. Held so firm, disciplined defending.
A full stripe offside.
Pitch looks magnificent, actually. All credit to the Villa ground staff because it rained buckets up here this afternoon. Rios ducks out of it. Larrazabal, a high hoist. Staunton will settle for that. Thank you very much. Steve Staunton. Anything that he came here for £1.1 million in 1991, and with the inflated transfer fees these days, that is a bargain. Nearly 250 games for the Villa, outstanding over the last decade. That's good, close, tight control by big Urthaith. Larrainza on his left foot, not his best. Now, the referee has given a corner. We heard a whistle there again from the crowd. And I think the Villa defenders stood and waited because they heard a whistle. But a corner kick's been given. It is a problem, that whistle. This is their third corner of the game. Guerrero away by Shimeka. Alquita.
Well done, Mark Draper. Got to the ball very quickly. Made sure that there was no settling on the ball to hit a true volley.
It's a goal kick then to Mark Bosnich and Aston Villa. You can hear that whistle quite clearly, and the players can hear it as well. Aston Villa flying the flag for England. 2-0 up against Bilbao here at Villa Park. 2-0 up on aggregate.
As Bilbao have improved, though, Villa have gone into their shell a little bit and now wantonly giving the ball away, Jonathan. They have to get the ball down, start passing it, put little triangles together again, regain the composure.
2-0 to the Villa. Are they heading through? Or Liverpool heading out? 0-0 Liverpool against Strasbourg. 3-0 down on aggregate, and that tie really was as dead as a door now. Very, very early on, unless Liverpool got something back. They were never going to do it. Liverpool fans would have other thoughts. Will Villa be the lone survivors in the UEFA Cup? Now, Altor Larrazabal. His debut way back 7 years ago against Mallorca. Staunton. Villa suddenly defending quite deep, Joe, which is a bit of a worry with, what, 25 minutes to go?
Yes, Brian, it'll be anxious that they do keep clearing the box and keep pressing up at the halfway line. Not to let that one mistake count on the edge of your own box.
Staunton. He's been equal to everything they've thrown at him, but that's a mistake by Wright. Southgate on hand.
But all of a sudden, there's too many clearances going into touch. There's too much possession being given away, and they have to get control of the game again, Villa, very, very quickly.
He has Hugo Echiog on the bench, Brian Little, if he wants to bring him on and just freshen up the defence. There's Guerrero. He's pushed up since coming on, Guerrero. He's tight up behind the front two, and Villa have had to defend deeper. Now, Larrazabal's there. Draper, though. Too far for Alquita. who made contact with York, rode the challenge well and eventually wins the free kick. The second bite for Alquiza was enough.
You have to say, though, for all Bilbao's improvement, there was only the torrid 5 minutes after the second goal when they really looked like scoring. Now, I mean, Villa looked to have ridden the storm somewhat.
That's Roel.
Yes, just when he thought it was safe.
Shemeka out. Oh, it didn't quite make Roel, but he wasn't the best of balls. Lassa. Mikel Lassa. A great spell at Real Madrid, winning titles there, a couple of titles, a couple of caps. Not been a regular this season in the starting lineup for Bilbao, though, since arriving in the summer. Here's York. Did well to Wright. Taylor's putting off to the far post, seen by Wright. Good run by Ian Taylor as well. Now York, the flag was raised. Dwight York has had a much more fruitful night than he had at the weekend against Chelsea, that's for sure. Good ball by Dwight York.
Excellent ball, and Milosevic is slightly offside, but very, very tight decision. Very, very tight decision.
They want to make another substitution, Athletic Bilbao. It'll be their third substitution of the night, and Urrutia will go off, and Javi Gonzalez will come on. He looked tricky in the first try. He's had a good run at this moment in time, has Javi Gonzalez. 4 goals in 6 games. Flicking on. Ooh, that's a misplaced header. Now Milosevic has York away to the left-hand side. Still Milosevic, strong run by him. And Lassa got back to make amends for the bad header. Rios. Guerrero, good to see him back in action. He's a fine player. This is Larancha and dangerous. Echeverria, but Faith is in the middle. Staunton has simply been so quick to cover anything, Joe, through any channel.
Yes, he's converted from his normal middle of the back three to left-sided centre-back tonight, and he's handled this very well. Obviously, Brian Little has decided the danger is down this side, and Stan Staunton's been exemplary.
This is at the Bilbao end of the ground. The fans are right there. Right makes the mistake. Laranza comes off Taylor. Javi Gonzalez deflected in it! And what a stunning start for the substitute. Javi Gonzalez has brought Bilbao right back into the tie, and this is going to be a nervy last 20 minutes for the Villa.
Yes, you have to admire them. They've picked the game up. They were 2-0 down. They could have sulked and gone home, but no, they've come back strong, and as Villa have actually got a little bit worse, they've improved dramatically. It's a tremendous strike, slight deflection, but nevertheless, Gonzalez has got over the ball, and a brilliant half volley, probably the hardest skill that there is.
It deflected off Southgate on the way through. Bosnich didn't have a prayer. 2-1 to Aston Villa on the night in the UEFA Cup tie of the night. Staunton down to Bosnich.
Brian Little has a decision to make now. Does he bring on a substitute to freshen things up, to try and get things going again, or does he stick with the players who've done so well from up to now? But they desperately need something new.
Sasa Sercic is warming up on the bench for them. So too, Hugo Echiog is away there, warming up. Milosevic and Alan Wright. Milosevic is making a forward run there, top of your picture. Nelson. Right again.
That's better.
That's a good ball. And Nelson. And Rios has been pulled wide. Nelson on the inside. Keeper may well have just been distracted maybe by Milosevic, who got down well. Southgate has missed it in the air, but Bosnich will claim.
Poor old Brian Little will be thinking, why does this happen to me? They were 2-0 up and cruising, took the foot off the pedal somewhat, and back have come Bilbao to show us their true form.
Still had a couple more goal attempts than Villa, which is a worry. 7 to the Villa's 4. Milosevic has won a free kick. Worked his socks off tonight.
Yes, he's a fan's favourite here, and he has worked hard for the team tonight. Dwight York has been spasmodically brilliant, but Milosevic has carried the battle all the way through.
The Villa fans have always appreciated a grafter. Staunton will take the free kick. And he's having one heck of a run up here, Steve Staunton. Oh, what a great effort! What a magnificent effort by Steve Staunton. We said they needed the heavy guns, and that really was a big berther.
Well, that was a great strike. That would have been the goal of any season had it gone in. But he's actually got swerve on it, he's kept it under the bar. The keeper's watched it all the way quite comfortably, but you have to admire his talent to do that from such a distance.
Great effort by Steve Staunton. Villa's fourth corner kick of the night now.
The goal now would kill it.
Here he is again, the set-piece expert. That's disappointing. Rios away, Draper, Staunton still wide. Flag stays down. Oh, disappointing control. Rios hammered it, didn't he? Now right. Could see what he was trying to do. He was trying to find Staunton. Just connected with it poorly. Luis Fernandez. Great success at Paris Saint-Germain, winning the league and the cup and the European Cup Winners' Cup there. And the side now have a free kick. Porto with a tiny headband. Echeverria has worked hard tonight on this right for them. Alquita and the Rios, who stepped out of defence. Lassa goes quickly. Larrazabal. Draper and Taylor find Milosevic. Foul. Alquita's foul. Got the faintest of headbands swept across his forehead there, and this is just a long, strangly, sticky piece of hair. Staunton to York, well one in the air. Now Echeverria looking dangerous, but fight through the middle, beyond Southgate, real danger here, but fight, Bosnic drawn, and the finish was woeful.
Sighs of relief there. I thought Bosnic got himself in an awfully false position too early, and realistically, you know, a toe poke or a little chip would give him problems here, but thankfully Husse's lost his footing at the vital moment.
Well, they certainly missed that one, but this is the goal that brought them back into the game. 2-1 on as a substitute just seconds ago. Javi Gonzalez, good connection, and there's the deflection of Southgate. Mark Bosnic, meanwhile, is having some lengthy treatment from Jim Walker. Here we are again. Mark Bosnic didn't have a chance, Joe, did he?
Not a chance in the world. He did well to get near it, taking into account that there was such a huge deflection. But all credits to Gonzalez, whose technique was perfect.
Well, although he trained yesterday, Brian Little said he wasn't a worry. He did keep himself warm and loose during the half-time interval, Bosnic. He pulled off a tremendous save from an earth-like header. But he is now limping a wee bit. Here's York at the other end. Oh, a lovely slip, piece of control by York. Slipped the defender. Arthais battling with Southgate. Good second half, this.
It's been a terrific second half, one that we certainly couldn't see at half-time, Jonathan. But Bilbao have gone quite direct at times now and landing balls on top of Villa's back three whenever they need to. Certainly playing off Husse's aerial prowess.
And let me remind you, if they draw it back to 2-2, if that's the way it is at 90 minutes, they would go through on the away goals. Villa out on the away goals last season against Helsingborg. 1-1 here, 0-0 away. Here's Milosevic. Scored against Bordeaux in the last round. Was he just nudged? 13.5 minutes to go. 5 times, ref. 5 times. Well, he's got to watch it, Joe. He's already had the yellow card in the first half.
He has to be very, very careful. I mean, the referee has had a good game up to now, but obviously Savo Milosevic doesn't agree with us. Well, why doesn't he leave it alone and go away?
Free kick to Aston Villa. Draper will take it. Milosevic in at the near post. At the far was Dwight York. The keeper was there. Gonzalez. Javi Gonzalez. and used as the playmaker in the absence of Guerrero. Gonzalez. He looks a very promising player. Only 23 years of age. Signed this summer for £500,000, Gonzalez. Played in every game. Here's York. He's done that well. He's held it up magnificently. Charles looks for Milosevic. Keeper in two minds. Shouldn't have been. Should never have even been out there looking to claim that. That's a good tackle on Milosevic. That's a good tackle.
Well done, Big Savo, though. Chased it out, kept the possession. He's now appealing again to the referee. He must watch it. There's no need for it. The referee will not change his decision. But well played, the big fella.
He's had his critics and he's done very well tonight, Savo Milosevic. So, Southgate and Shimeka. And Milosevic in the middle for the corner. Rios takes it away from his own goalkeeper. Urthaith's flick on. Charles the last man. Free kick for the foul. Just clambering up and over the top of Urthaith. Imanol Echeverria, whose mistake gave Villa the lead on 28 minutes, scored by Ian Taylor with this. 2-0 up through Dwight York on 50, and then Javier Gonzalez with 20 minutes to go. Good leap down, good leap, and headed down by Urthaith. Staunton gets it away. And again. Alkeitha, Staunton is there. York wrestling it away for Aston Villa. And here he is again. Dwight York, slipped. That was a good tackle on him. Nelson, Draper's wide. York's down the line if he can find him.
Dwight York is really very strong for such a little fellow. He has a low centre of gravity, and once he gets on the ball, he's very hard to shake off. Unfortunately, he slipped there. He's had an outstanding second half.
Dwight York, 26 years of age yesterday, and celebrating with the birthday tonight. Birthday boy, just like you got Ekyok on the bench, 25 years of age yesterday. Guerrero. Oh, that's a nice header. Alkeitha from distance. What a beautiful header to him, though. Alkeitha's shot will disappoint the Bilbao fans behind Mark Bosnich's goal with their flags and hats and banners and songs and whistles. There he is. There he is. Mind you, look at his mate. You want to challenge him. Nice hair, though. Right. Oh, lovely ball. Dwight York. Milosevic in the middle. York. Back comes Larethebel. York waiting. Gary Charles. Uncharted territory for him. Taylor brings it down. Milosevic. Good save. Didn't really hit it properly. And the keeper returns for his earlier error. But that should have won the tie, really.
I hope that miss isn't costly, Jonathan. That was started by the pass of the game from Alan Wright, who played a terrific ball down the outside, and really Big Savo should have clinched the game there.
That's a nice header down by Shimeka, and Southgate away. Alcorta.
I'm sure that Brian Little's considering bringing Hugo Ekihog on just to tighten things up at the back with his extra size.
I don't know whether that was offside. Milosevic to York. That was so close again. That's a cage-old game they played, Athletic Bilbao. Lassa. Javi Gonzalez. And Taylor fouled his man. Just digging back at him, says the referee. Unfairly. He's worked hard, though, hasn't he, Ian Taylor in midfield? He's another honest lad and a local lad as well. Ian Taylor in Birmingham started off with the non-league club Moor Green in this part of the world. Rios is the danger here. Coming in field of Staunton. Southgate couldn't win it in the air. Danger still. Away by Nelson. And Athletic Bilbao claim it came off an arm.
And that is a brilliant defensive tackle there from Nelson, because the game was going to be level at that stage there. Bilbao were in, and Fernando Nelson appeared from nowhere.
Well, if it came off an arm, it came off the arm of a Bilbao player. Alkeitha down. Milosevic battling hard again. Well done, Big Savo. Now Wright. Alan Wright was pulled back. Still going. Alan Wright, beautiful ball. Dwight York, the birthday boy. Dwight York. Oh! Into the hole to chances to again open up that lead and move cruising through to the next round.
I have to admire Brian Little, who's standing there motionless. He must be aging by the second, because they've had two excellent opportunities to seal the tie. No, it's never that easy, Brian. There's more to come.
Into the last 10 nervy minutes for Aston Villa. Draper is there, almost putting his defence under pressure. Shemeka away. 2-1 to Aston Villa. The vision of the clear blue-eyed Ricardo Shemeka just saving the day. Here's Larantha. Good tackle, Alan Wright. He's done so well over the two games. And he needs to get back here, though. And the dangerous Larantha. Nelson away. Wrong-footed, but nonetheless downfield. Alkeitha. Lasser's making a run. Rios is there. Danger for the Villa. The header from outside. Ooh, Mark Bosnich was there. He's been a danger throughout in the air, has Big Erthaith, Ismail Erthaith.
I can't believe the way this game has exploded after a very, very boring first half, and here we have a terrific, breathtaking second half, but I wish it was a lot more simple than that. I wish the Villa were clear.
Oh, nice block by Staunton, and offside anyway against Joseba Echeverria. Got a great tash, hasn't he, that linesman? It's like a walrus up and down this touchline. It's like Craig Stadler. Marvellous stuff. Draper. Nelson. Nice change of direction and pace. Oh, very cynically checked by Alcorta. How on earth can he protest his innocence there? I don't understand that. Why do players? Why is he protesting his innocence?
He believes it, Jonathan.
Well, seemed clear as day from up here.
And the referee couldn't have been closer.
Second yellow card of the night for Athletic Bilbao. Let's have a look at it again. Nelson. Well,
he's saying I couldn't get out the way.
Yeah, he came at him square on though, didn't he?
Yeah, he made no attempt to get out the way. Not that he has to.
And some work for the Aston Villa physiotherapist, Jim Walker.
Fernando Nelson looks very distressed there. He's played a full part tonight, running at the Bilbao defence whenever he could. And certainly he's very elusive with the ball at his feet, but he looks in trouble.
And anxiety for the Aston Villa manager, Brian Little, at this late stage of the game. He is one of football's most deserving managers, certainly one of the nicest guys in the game. And really it was appalling that he had to quit the game at the age of 26. If you're too young to remember Brian Little for Aston Villa, and indeed England, try and get hold of a video because he was a lovely player. And warming up in that substitutes bench, Simon Grayson, who's a midfield holding player, knows all about big occasions, scored the goal that took Leicester to the Coke Cup final against Wimbledon last season. That's a shame.
It is a shame for Fernando Nelson, but Grayson came on in the first leg and did a very good holding role, and I'm sure that he won't let Brian Little down again. Let's hope it's not too serious for Fernando Nelson.
And let's hope that Aston Villa can clinch it here with this free kick. Referee signalling across to the assistant over on the far side to get Simon Grayson on the field of play. The fourth official says it's okay now. And he's sent on by Ferenc Bedo from Hungary, the fourth official. Staunton and Draper there then. Three men in the Bilbao wall. Alkeitha will be the man who closes on them, I think. Meanwhile, there's a little bit of bumping and barging in there. Dwight York was involved, and Laracabal. Staunton has already hit one. Oh, that fizzed through. Goodness me, nearly took his foot off. He can't off-track them. Alkeitha was the man who closed on him. Ooh, and probably wishes he hadn't.
Certainly that little break might have done Villa good, taking the sting out the game. And hopefully then get back on top now and maybe even get that third goal, which would surely decide the game.
Played short to Staunton. Draper into the near post. Didn't came with feet. Didn't look convincing. Draper burrowed in underneath his man. Fernando Nelson. Aston Villa go to Crystal Palace at the weekend in the FA Carling Premiership. Handball cry from the Villa fans against Javi Gonzalez.
Rios has pushed forward now, Jonathan. At the moment they have 5 forward players on the pitch.
Alan Wright just dropping off Echeverria, making the forward make the decision. Good fullback play. Oh, not good play by Draper there, putting his teammate back into pressure. And the referee not helping either. Laranca, Alcorta, Rios is in there. Bosnich claims. One of the differences between the two teams over the two ties. Mark Bosnich's handling has been excellent.
He'll kill a few seconds now. He'll keep the ball to his feet as long as he possibly can before a challenge, I'm sure.
Bosnich away. Rafaval's leap. That's a foul on Savo Milosevic. 1.5 minutes to play. Last stoppage time. There'll be a little bit of that, that's true. Larsa. York couldn't quite force the corner kick. Took his goal superbly though. Scored for Villa for the 87th time. One thing about Dwight York, he has a strange superstition. He normally changes shirts at half-time and changes to short sleeve shirts at half-time as well. You always have to take a little bit of extra kit along for him, whatever the weather. Rios. That's up to the left-hand side. Lassa. Oh, Shemeka's caught wrong side of her faith. Danger, Staunton, get it away. If in doubt, get it out.
Too dangerous. Much too dangerous. A great ball. The size has given them so much more up front in this leg. And realistically now they're going to go hanging on.
Guerrero though! Oh, maybe lacking a little bit of first team sharpness, Julen Guerrero. A very good player. We're in the stoppage time. The Bilbao fans frustrated. The Aston Villa fans whistling shrilly to the referee to try and get his attention.
I'm sure there's several minutes left yet, Jonathan. A little bit for time wasting, a little bit for the stoppages.
Still, you look at the fact they've had 10 shots on goal. Bilbao. Aston Villa have had 7. That's a worry for the manager. Southgate leaving it to the keeper. Ooh! Bosnich knew what he was doing. It's all right for him to smile, Joe. Bosnich away then. Milosevic, just his physical presence enough. York trying to hard turn to Alcorta. Now Draper into the challenge bravely. So important for Aston Villa to kick-start their season, to shape their season here with a victory. Oh, come on, ref. Again, they look for Echeverria. Again, Southgate is there. And Grayson and Taylor, who scored the first of the night. Milosevic, who's worked so hard. Grayson, York offside. How many times have they played the trap, Athletic Bilbao? Deep into stoppage time. Up goes Artaiz. Guerrero is round the back. And Grayson got it away.
You know, Bilbao have been so direct since they've gone behind, and they've caused Villa so many problems just by aerial challenges. And again, Villa have stood firm. Let's hope that the concentration's right for this corner.
Grayson again away. Arsenal went out so late on against PAOK of Salonika. Surely lightning won't strike twice here, Lara. Clarenta off target. Two minutes of stoppage time on the clock. The referee has checked his watch. The whistle is in the lips, and we're still playing. Javier Gonzalez, Draper's deflection. Arthaithon, Alan Wright makes it his. Arthaith again, Charles in there. Now Rios. They'll get it forward quickly from out there, they'll have to. Rios is still forward, Echeverria, away by Southgate, Arthaith! And that'll come down with snow on it.
And hopefully the danger's gone now, because the referee must be surely realising now that we're well into the game and it's time up, ref. Blow your whistle.
Just wonder though, if Arthaith had been in the team in the first game, he's had 6 opportunities tonight, 6 chances, 6 efforts. Whether or not Miller would have been behind from the first leg, they weren't, and they're through. Aston Villa are through to the next round of the UEFA Cup. They go through by beating Athletic Bilbao 2 goals to 1 on the night, 2-1 on aggregate, and the birthday boy Dwight York complimented Ian Taylor, who got the first. And it's Villa who celebrate the name Dwight York and go through to the 3rd round of the UEFA Cup. What a way to celebrate your birthday. Belated, it's true, but they're through to the next round.
A terrific goal, Jonathan, and there's no doubt that over the 2 legs that Aston Villa deserved to go through. But they were made to worry late on in the game as Bilbao actually came to life for the last half hour. And they must be wondering, Bilbao, what would have happened had they played from the start of this tie instead of just the last 30 minutes. But that's not our problem. We're through. And a great victory for England as well as for Aston Villa.
And a great victory for supporters, because the behaviour of both sets of supporters over the tie was simply magnificent. And that is why Aston Villa are giving Bilbao a standing ovation off the field of play for the fans more than anything else. And Milosevic goes away, his place in the next round secured, as Aston Villa beat Athletic Bilbao by 2 goals to 1 and fly the flag for England in the UEFA Cup.
Well, Brian, you're through, but it was a heart-stopping end, really, wasn't it?
Yeah, I think when they scored, obviously it made it very difficult for us to put a lot of pressure on us, a lot of long balls, a lot of high balls. Had a couple of big fellas up there at the end and were pressurising us. But, you know, if perhaps Dwight had a chance in the second half and Savo had a good chance, it could have been quite a comfortable game for us. As it turned out, that last period was very tough. But it's been a good game. Both sides have enjoyed each other's company. I mean, it's been very competitive, but very fair, and we're delighted with the result.
Was it a more open game than you expected?
No, I thought they'd come and play that way. I mean, they've watched us lately and not do well, so I genuinely felt they'd come here and have a real go at it. I think they fancied the chances, and it made it a real open game, but I thought it was going to be that way.
The league form has been poor, Brian. Does this get your season back on track now?
I hope so. You know, some weeks we've been putting some good performances, and just when we think we've got it right, we throw a bad one in. So, you know, until we really sort of stick a run of half a dozen up to 10 games unbeaten together, then really we'll just worry a little bit. But hopefully this will help.
Brian, congratulations. Thanks for talking to us.
Cheers.